my peoples. What's up, guys? Sammy B, Autumn G. That rhymes. Sammy B, Autumn G. YouTube live sessions.
Maybe it was meant to be.
Yes, live sessions. We're here.
Hmm.
We're here across the world.
Yep. On this wonderful Saturday.
Yeah, man. September the 13th. Thank you guys for coming on. Let's wait till a couple people coming on. Um, the topic today will be accountability. Accountability. We kind of segued it yesterday into it yesterday from the homelessness, and I think this topic is very, very important. Just because it just makes sense. We got to be accountable for our actions, whatever, whether it's right or wrong or whatever you believe in and don't believe in. It's free will. You're your own individual, and if you do the crime, you must do the time. And if you are trying to get fame, then you must be ashamed. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. I just wanted to rhyme.
Uh,
But no, no, no.
Sometimes you don't realize something's wrong, so
Yeah.
you
So
still have to hold up accountability for not
yeah. So
making
it's
sure that something was wrong.
yeah. So accountability is definitely important. Let's kind of get into that. Let me tell you what I think. Somewhat of what
Sure.
accountability is. It's taking responsibility for the actions that you pursue. Uh, Whether you know it or don't know it, and it's more so you know it because you wouldn't have pursued it if you didn't know it. Now, the reaction to the action, no one knows, right? Because we're not God Himself or herself, or the deity or the person or thing that you believe in.
Itself.
But at the end of the day, you wanted to pursue whatever the objective or whatever you were thinking of doing, right? So accountability is what you make of it, but it's definitely responsibility. So that whole responsibility aspect is very, very keen in accountability. There's people keep joining on. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Hit the like button, subscribe, share. Let's see you guys in the chat. We're talking about accountability. Are you accountable for your actions? And Miss G, shoot, what do you have to say?
Well, like you said, it's taking responsibility, but accountability, I like to tell people that is a personality mindset. It's not just responsible because we can go out and go have a job. We can clean our house. We can make sure things are being done. But that's just being an adult. That's being responsible. Accountability is the mindset of realizing when you're wrong, you need to step back and figure out why you were wrong, how it was wrong, and when you're going to start to implicate yourself to start being that difference that you knew was wrong. Accountability can come in many forms. We're not just talking about with relationships, even though it probably is, sorry, it really is or really does have a lot to do with relationships, but accountability goes towards almost everything I believe that we're going to experience. You don't just get to do something and not have an outcome towards it, and that's being a good or a bad thing. Even when you do good things, you still have bad outcomes. Just the realization of understanding the standpoint that becomes after making a decision, making an action, making a thought process, making voice be heard, you still have some kind of outcome, and there will always be accountability to be had, regardless of that outcome. If we're going to take anything in consideration of what's going on, that's accountability. When it kind of all ties on to what we've been discussing, and we have to, as a community too, be accountable for the things that go on. And as a single out person, you have to be accountable for whatever does go on within your life. As a as a single person, I take an accountability that I ended up single without my children's father because of a lot of things. And we're not going to get personal here, but a lot of things I should have done in conducting a relationship with them, with their father, differently. And in return, he put up himself as a defense mechanism that was wrong. And it's up to him to be accountable for it, even
Familiar
though I
Lopez,
was
thank you
wrong.
for coming on. Thank you for coming
Thank
on,
you.
Familiar.
And he was wrong. We still both have to look at the accountability of our actions. As you know, you and I on this podcast, anything that comes from this, we have to hold accountability. And that's
Mhm.
if, somebody says nice things, rude things, their opinions, facts, we still have to respond to those with accountability of thoughtfulness or accountability of knowing that, hey, that was our opinion, not a fact, or um, maybe we should have not spoke on something so quickly before we got more information, stuff like that. Those are just examples I can give at this moment.
Mm. I think
If it's
definitely.
go,
Go ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Nope,
No,
you go first.
I was gonna say, people being accountable for what they do and what they say is definitely facilitated in the character that that person is to become. I mean, your actions and what you do and how you do it, and the perception of what you do and what you're doing can also have an impact of your reputation. So you have to be accountable for the ways you go about doing things and how it's perceived to other people. Now, does taking accountability of what you've done, does that make the person more inept to criticism, or does it make it more inept to volatility
Forgiveness.
of criticism? No, no,
Mm,
like the volatility of criticism. So pretty much what I'm saying is being accountable for your actions, does it come with the criticism that is necessitated by other people from the outside?
yes. Before we have to be held accountable, we have to hold that mindset of what is to become after this, whatever form of action you take. You tend to be impulsive in this world. I fall under that category, and you get that anxiety bound of making a quick decision on what you believe to perceive of your ongoing situation. Sometimes we don't think that people are going to find things out, and sometimes people don't want to talk about what they've done because it holds shame and grief on top of things that they had already had to make a decision that they probably were regretting. I personally, as a human, believe that we should take the time to do things a little slower and understand things a little deeper. That way, the accountability doesn't bring in the negative feelings of people knowing. We're not always, and especially when you're not in the mindset of it, you're not going to remember to take the time to be in that present moment of learning what you need to learn at that present moment, because those trials, those tests, and those lessons are going to come. And at the end of it, accountability of whatever outcome there is. We as people have a lot of things to come together and be accountable for: the bad, the good, the in between. And if you look at your partner, or if you look at your neighbor, even your children, and you blame them, you're pointing your finger at them like, why? That's not, that's shifting the blame. That's becoming a person of narcissistic qualities, of not being able to hold accountability, hold up your end of doings. And you tend to look like a callous person. You tend to look cold. You tend to be verdict as somebody who is non-caring. And that goes back to a coping mechanism or a self-defense mechanism. And it goes back to us ourselves, even though we're not the ones having these problems, such as homeless or mental illness, we still have our own problems. And if we don't go and try to step in a different direction that we've been stepping in, we're going to continue to go down the same direction that we don't want to be in. I personally don't want to talk about myself, but personally, this year has been an impulsive year for me. And I'm learning how to hold accountability up again, because it's an ongoing. You have to still, through any decisions that we make, we have to hold accountability, even if you don't want somebody to see that, because sometimes they will. You don't know who's looking in, and you don't know what's going to be dug up. It just goes that way. And I would like to do put this out on here. I'm not a better person. I'm a doing person. And with that, I try to be better. I am no different from her, him, or them. And I continue to go through the same things that I am talking about. I will be better if I allow myself to be better. Just as I'm trying to tell people, it's easier for me, myself, to give great advice, just as my friends and family give to me. You know, just as I know, it's hard to go and do that advice, or even think about your own impulsive things that you don't, you just need to push them to the side, tell them that you're okay, tell them that everything that you are seeking is what you need. You don't need anything more than what you can handle. And the mindset of allowing yourself to know that you are accountable for all things that you create will help you guide into a path of where you would like to be in this life, where you always were supposed to be in this life. You just have to guide yourself there. You can't expect somebody to push you and you go and the direction, or not to trip. Because if somebody pushes you, you do have the real possibility of falling, of failing, of being rejected, of said situation. But I have personally figured out that when you do something with full attention of authenticity and genuineness, you are more likely to come out.
And she has been distracted, folks,
By a child. It's
by a
Saturday.
child. By a child. Yeah,
And he's perfectly fine. He likes to be my sidekick to everything.
that's a fact. As it should be. As it should be.
Oh yeah, I don't have no other better man than him.
Yeah.
And he definitely has been letting me know what man I can have. uh, So going back to what we were saying, I want to try to implicate out in the world to be a better person than what you see, um, in me and you, uh, even in people like Charlie Kirk. You are him, and he is you. He knew a lot more than what we're ever going to be able to uncover. But still, I'm sorry to say this, his accountability is he rubbed somebody or people a little wrong or whatever happened, because we're not going to really know the truth of it, even if it is documented.
Well,
Only truly really does him, and whatever happened inside of the universe will be the truth. And if
well,
we get it, we get it.
I think not necessarily pointed at him. I think the
Oh
actions
no.
of the person that took away his
Mhm.
life needs to
Yes.
be accountable. No matter what, if you thought he was right or you didn't think he was right, he had the right to express himself. Now,
Yes.
everybody has the right to express themselves and do what they want to do.
In
Now,
America right now.
right, and that's an undeniable right in the U.S. The actions by the perpetrator that did what they did, he has to be now accountable to understand that Charlie's never going to see his family again. The family never going to see him. His kids are going to be fatherless growing up in life. So that accountability now has to sit with the person that decided to take away an innocent man's life
Mm.
because of the views that he had. Now
Mhm.
you may disagree with it, didn't like it. I don't think anybody still deserves to have their life taken because of the views.
Not at all.
But it depends. You know, again,
It does depend.
going about it the way that it happened was horrific.
And however it
It
did
was not.
happen,
Yeah,
there's
it was not
accountability to be had.
right. So the accountability, I think, on uh, I think also on the aspects of the security in that place. You know, when
Yeah.
you're in a big college setting of what is it, 3,000 people, the public safety has to be accountable. I think they also said Mr. Kirk also had Charlie Kirk had security. The vetting of big functions, and you know, I can't say that enough. The public safety of big functions, festivals, concerts. Um, and it didn't have to just be him. It could have just been a person who indiscriminately had mental issues and just wanted to randomly cause chaos in that type of scene. The public safety wasn't up to par at all, or there was lax. So there's accountability there too. The public safety of people going to open outside events like that, you know.
Hmm.
And so across the board, there was failure, and everyone needs to be accountable for that failure that happened that day. You know, most importantly, the person that decided to take the life of a
Hmm.
commentator or an activist or an opinion person,
Yeah.
whatever you want to describe them as. Uh,
I,
a
and
person, a man is gone, and it shouldn't be like that.
no. And to whomever,
Well,
whatever.
they caught the guy, and his father or is the one who actually turned the kid in. 22 years old, you
I
know.
seen it's all over the
So
news.
right. So are we accountable too for the violence that's also happening in society rapidly,
Hmm.
especially in U.S. culture? The things
We
need to
sure
be
are.
done. The things need to be done at an accelerated pace, and what needs to be done on that. And that actually should be a topic probably for next about the whole gun violence epidemic that we have. You know,
Yeah.
we should talk about
I
that.
don't mind. I talk about anything and everything out in this world with anybody.
Man,
I definitely try to keep it more of a neutral base, but
hmm
I have upsetted some people out here. But it's once again, even if it's facts in my mind, it's opinions out my mouth. But
Right.
back to the
But
accountability
you're
thing.
entitled. You're
Okay.
entitled to that, though. You're
Oh,
also entitled to that, and that's the reason
right.
why we have this forum, is so we can bring out our opinions, and then also get interaction from people in the comments. You know, uh, the chat. You know, we call them. That come on. We want to hear from you guys. Speak up, discuss, debate.
Yes.
You know, and let us know if we're on the right track or if we're on the wrong track. But let's be civilized and let's be cordial to one another when expressing our views. Right? You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You don't even have to listen to it if you don't want. What you would like,
But your opinion would
you know,
matter.
being civil about it. So, and then you can always leave the room. I mean, leave the live. I mean, there's thousands, the millions of other lives that YouTube has. You don't have to listen to this, but we have the right to express ourselves and our opinions, and as well as you guys do too. And we want you guys to. So this is what keeps us going as we try to build this community, build this thing up. Yeah.
Hmm. So
Um.
I was thinking about a story that happened to me a few weeks ago. Um, I'm not big into killing bugs, even when bugs are scary, and I don't like them in my house. So when I clean houses and people say have a roach problem, I try them to tell them about a natural, effective way to keep up with the deterring of these bugs, not to kill them, the deterring. So I slipped up the other day or the other week and killed a bug, a spider, because it was a black widow. I felt bad, but I ultimately got scared, didn't know where to put it. I don't come across those very often, and I squished it instead of putting it outside because I was scared. I usually typically don't do that kind of stuff, but spiders really scare me, especially that one. So the very couple hours later, I was playing basketball with my son, and the basketball that is the one that I'm talking about is in a driveway, and in that driveway, it has a patch of woods or bushes, brushels, whatever we're going to call it. And
Mhm.
the basketball went inside of the woods
Okay.
and angried some yellow jackets, and they attacked me.
Oh wow.
So as this
Them
had
yellow jackets
happened,
don't play.
oh, they did not, and one got stuck under my shoe and was its little thingy got it stood in there, and like my foot was so swollen, and it like bothered me all night long, and I could not sleep. But in my mind, I was like, I should have not killed that spider.
Do you think that you're taking accountability from what you did to the spider? That
Taking a life.
right. So the retribution
Yeah,
then came back to you, or the
it
karma came
did,
back to you later
because
on.
I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have killed him. I knew it. I was like, he had a family to have and things to do and a
So do you
purpose
think
to
that
be.
it was a spirit that said, "Listen, my fellow other insects,
Yes,
when you have a big chance, and berate her because
yes.
she's the one."
He told it through the spirit line of
Right,
insects.
right. So he got you one way or the other.
Yep. And
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
happens when you do something that you knew it was wrong, it turns back out and you get wronged too, even when you feel like you shouldn't have been wronged.
right.
So that came up to my mind. Didn't want to get too personal again, but that did come up while we were talking about this again. Just an insight of what goes on. So, how would you believe that holding accountability with oneself and others together as a community whole would be able to pivot us to a different direction? Do you believe that us together deciding factors, making the deciding factors together would implicate a change out here?
Uh, I think people just need to be accountable for their actions. I don't know if that means that people, we mean being together.
Yeah,
That
so
okay
just like a
if
personal
you have,
choice.
or is it like collectively, like so we were all
Well,
you know.
honestly, I think personal choices are collective choices. Once you ignite something inside of your brain, I believe that we are on like a little computer.
Mm,
Whatever's up there is actually a collection of our brain waves
right.
that does get filtered out to whatever quantum physics is up there that's collecting it. I'm unsure. I try to research it a little here and there, try to get into it, but it's a lot to take in. And honestly, you don't really know because once you step down that pathway of figuring things out, you either go a little deeper and you find a little more, or you go back and you're scared and you run away from it. I've been both. But as a person making choices, I do believe everything has a butterfly effect. So even if you chose to drink milk this morning with your breakfast, that's drinking milk. If you know, you know. If you chose to um, go ahead and drive and not pay attention, and you get in an accident, that was your choice to not pay attention, even though things happen. That accident still involves you and others, not just you. But all of the actions that we do, even when they're personal choices, we do all collectively, I believe, have a butterfly effect towards them.
Yeah, accountability, man. I think that's where it's at. And we'll probably leave it there. What do you think? Continue.
Sure.
Do you have any parting words? You
Yeah,
can't.
I think I like um, my facts are my opinions. And even though they are what I believe in, everyone has their own beliefs. And facts
Okay.
can be facts.
Oh, okay, okay. I was thinking that you were gonna add more to that. I was like, oh, okay,
Oh,
that's
I
what.
thought you said we were ending segment.
No, no. I was saying part. I was saying round it out. Reel it in. Reel it in. What are we gonna reel it
Okay.
in? Yeah. Anything
Okay.
else?
I'm unsure. There's a lot of things that we have to do to first we have a lot of things to do to undo. And I do plan on being a person to help take accountability for the things that I have done and continuously to do. It's all about us doing better choices, and even when you do slope backwards, you still have that strength to go forward. So it's all about your own learning experience in this game. To me, this is a game. We are playing a real life game here, and you either exit becoming different, or you just sometimes I don't know. There's that whole thing, heaven and reincarnation, but that's just something else. Uh, it's either you do or you don't, and
Mm,
accountability in all forms of anything in our life has to be contributed to understanding that we do have to look as accountability as something that is going to continuously happen and be there with us having
with us having.
the accountability has to be held up to whatever standards there are, even when you're wrong and even when you're right. There tends to be a wrong and a right for everything. It balances itself out, and accountability helps when something is unbalanced to make it balance. So just allowing yourself and allowing others the right passage of their own accountability, because you can't force people to accountability. You can't tell one that they are wrong without them realizing how they were wrong. They have to
Right.
go through those steps of understanding their own accountability. But you yourself as a person, me myself, you as a son, a daughter, as a mom, a dad, etc. In this world, we still have the right to our own accountability of saying we were right or we were wrong, or what could have been better and what can be better.
Yeah,
That is the goal here, to just take on your responsibility as a human to dish out, or to take what you dished out in this life. And
I agree. I agree.
you just,
I thi- yeah, I agree. I think that we just need to be accountable for our actions. Whether you're
yeah,
male, female, uh, at the end of the day, you have free will, and it's through that free will that you initiate your actions. And then you have to also be careful with reactions, um, and not distractions. So yeah, that's it, man. I mean, accountable. Yeah, we are all accountable for each other, for ourselves, obviously, and let's try to hit that home run. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, folks. Thank you guys for coming on. Like, subscribe, share. Who's that? Is
yeah,
the mini me? Mini me
that
just kind
is
of
my
popped it.
mini me.
Yeah, popped
And
his
my
head in.
daughter
Mini
looks
me.
like her mini father,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want him on this.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Um, yeah. So
Stop.
thank you guys for coming on. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. It's a beautiful Saturday. Take hold of it, and you know, let's all be accountable for what we do in life. Peace.
Period.
Enjoy your weekend. Period. God bless.
Bye.
Later.